Okay, so here we are talking about different ways to help teachers sort of understand how to teach their students in this digital literate era. Um, so I put together a list of 5 things that I think are the most important for teachers to be able to do this. Number one is critical thinking, and I think number one and number two kind of go together. But number one, I kind of put down the note, being able to think differently and give your students the best chance to understand the material. So what I mean by that is, quite literally think critically. Think of different ways, think outside the box, if you will. You can't just come to class every day with the PowerPoint slides and stuff like that. You have to be able to think critically and think outside the box of ways, well, maybe we could do this in class. Maybe I could, put together a little website that's kind of interactive, maybe, to where they go to the website and they have to, pick a section of what you're teaching and then kind of go and maybe read a little bit and then do a class activity, something like that. You have to be able to think critically. And that's why I said I think it goes along with creativity, because, you come up with ways students can participate in class and earn their grades by enjoying the class. One thing that I saw in one of my teacher observations was it was a social studies class, and the teacher had put together this whole project. It was a semester-long project, and at the end, they got to participate in a living museum. So basically, each kid picked a person from history that they thought was important, that they thought was either important or interesting or whatever it may have been, and they got to dress up as them, and kids that were younger from the same school got to come in, and basically it was like a museum. The younger kids came up and asked them questions and stuff like that. And these kids that did the project were basically experts on that person and were teaching themselves, kind of. So that was pretty cool. That was a way to be creative. Number 3, design and develop digital age learning experiences. So I said times have changed, change with them. So, you have to be able to, kind of going back to maybe that website idea, you have to be able to come up with ways that, ways that you can teach that, correspond with the time we're living in. Kids are growing up with these phones and computers at ages, younger than we've ever seen it. So they know how to use this technology. Now it's our turn to start incorporating it into our lessons and start giving them, ample opportunity to learn. Number 4, I said problem solving. So, technology is not perfect. Have a plan. So if you do come to class, one day and you do have the idea of the website or whatever, make sure that you have a plan. Because, maybe the school Wi-Fi is down for, maybe an hour of the day, and, your students can't get onto that website, and what are you going to do? You can't just have a wasted class period where, you come in and you're like, oh, well, my idea was to do this website, and now I don't have anything, so you guys can just read. That's not going to work. So you have to have a plan. Technology isn't perfect. Have a plan. There are glitches. So you have to have a plan B, if you will. Number 5 is, building up to all this is promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility. One of the ISTE standards, along with design and develop digital age learning experiences. But this one I think is very important because basically what it covers is talking about, copyright, and talking about copying other people's work, talking about plagiarism. Couldn't think of the word, but talking about plagiarism, because, making sure these students understand that will then develop them and prepare them for higher education through technology. So they have to be able to understand that, what they're working with. And depending on how young you're teaching, maybe if you're teaching 6th graders, they have no idea what plagiarism is. So have to be able to teach that and make them understand, what they're dealing with. So I think that's a good start for being able to teach your students in this digitally literate era.